again, another live, and we've had issues with trying to invite. Hey Justin, so invite Adam. Utopia invites. And Nick invite. Hopefully that works. Hey, so we were chatting with Adam and we've had difficulties trying to invite Nick. So yeah, it's the beauty of going live. It's not like a podcast where we're in the studio. We are going live on Instagram, and sometimes it comes with its ups and downs of technology. And let's face it, we're not good with technology. We're better at landscaping, but now I can't seem to invite anyone. So maybe it's just me tonight. Just me on my own. I don't know if you watched that. Literally, what is happening? Nick, sorry about this. Oh well, a lot of people are waving. Wave. Sorry about this, it's not working my way. Blame it on the technology. Even Adam can't come on.
Oh, I'm back.
Here we go.
Upside down world.
I'm sorry, hey, it's not working. I mean, it took you ages to come on. I'll try again, Nick, but I think if it doesn't work, we'll have to try, Q&A.
I mean, yeah.
Right.
I think it'd be good to when we have it edited. It'd be good to put what we started off with, because we had like it was really good conversation.
Yeah, no. And again, that just goes to show, if you put two people, I mean, we've got two very similar businesses, as in we both do landscaping. And
there's a question from one of the audience. Justin's asked if we've got a new perm.
Yeah. But a new perm, I love it. You know what? At least you got hair. Mine, I mean, let's have a look at this, guys. This is very upsetting. But maybe one day I'll be able to afford a hair transplant. Who knows?
But yeah, it's a shame because I was really looking forward to the business chat, and we were having like a really good conversation beforehand. So shall we just
Let me try one last time, and if not, we'll have to reschedule with Nick. I don't know what's happening. I'm gonna. So yeah, he's on there. Yeah, he's not able to join. So here we go. Sorry about that, guys. We're gonna start again. The live is starting now with Adam and me. Adam from Utopia and Els from Tisserand, and we are going to just have Q&A. So please put some questions down below. It can be business related, like we've had one. How do you quote things that you haven't done in the future? In the past. But it could be, a question about landscaping, or, how we quote, or how we prefer to approach new inquiries, because we've been chatting a lot, Adam and me, like, especially recently, our relationship, without saying, has really grown, and we spend a lot of time on the phone. much for my wife, despair, us being loud when I'm in the kitchen and she's trying to put the kids to bed. But you know, it's been really good because I've learned a lot about how you run your business, and you know, that's coming from someone that's been doing it longer than you, 10 years. But I've took a lot of that information, and I love sharing those information with you, because I think we've got a lot to give and take, if you like, a lot to share, and we're open-minded as well. So I've been doing it 10 years, but I'm like so willing to learn new ways, and that's like not just down to learning new ways of doing my job properly, or it's learning new ways to run your business. So, you know, yeah, some questions would be great, but if not, we'll just chat and hopefully you enjoy the chat.
No,
yeah,
exact same. It's been lovely. I mean, the relationship we've kind of developed, and I think because we're both very passionate, we're both very like-minded. We work super hard, but then we can also enjoy ourselves and have fun. It's just a really good balance, and I think it's important for everyone, but especially for business owners, because it can be so hard and stressful at times just to unwind, like with someone that's running their own business, and also just to, especially, I think the best way for success is being open-minded and taking on someone else's ideas and approach, because there might be, out of 10, there might only be one thing you take, but that one thing could really help develop your business. So you should always kind of look up for companies, see how they're operating.
Yeah. Look, we just had Ben from Ruddle say evening boy.
I don't know.
Who's that?
I might know who he is.
Ben, if you're watching, if you've got any questions for both of us,
There could be no mayonnaise questions.
But yeah, I think you're right. I think a lot of tradesmen spend a lot of time on the tools, not worrying about their business enough, and I'm guilty of that. So I would say, as long as your work is like amazing and you're like up there, best standard as you can achieve, I think at that point you really need to like, okay, the work is good, the customers are happy with the finished product. Now I need to push the other side, as in, you know, the business and stuff. Oh, I see.
What would your answer be if I said Tesco?
Yeah, he's funny, isn't it? But yeah.
I reckon Tesco. No, yeah. I think we need to hopefully get some more questions. It's a shame about Nick, but I mean, should we just carry on the dialogue about business until then?
Yeah, I think so. Let's see where it leads us. You know, let's see where it leads us. So I would say my question to you is, what do you think you do differently to the average landscaping firm near to you that is making you, because you said you've got a lot of inquiries, so your marketing is in place, so that's great. But what are you doing differently to you know, your business that is, you know, improving the workload coming in and how you
so for us, our biggest thing, I guess it's not secret, but is what I kind of recognize patterns, and what I've seen is that people pay for the finished product, and they expect it, whether it's £10 or £100, they pay for the finished garden. They don't expect the experience, what I call it, the experience, and that's what we sort of heavily promote. You can expect that from start to finish, and it's, if you, so from my experience, the good garden's good, but no one really talks about that. They talk about, at Tisserand, they were there on time every day. Like, if we needed to leave the house, there was nothing in our way. It's all the housekeeping, it's being on time, it's all these different bits which kind of like massively set you apart from everyone else. And it's only like small details, but it's those things that I've kind of really honed in on, and it's that what kind of it's just giving them like a seamless and easy sort of process that, yeah, you get them involved, but you're not in their way. You're not causing them any problems. That they've kind of sit back and you involve them when you want to involve them, when you need to involve them. Yeah.
So we'd say not only because a client is paying for a finished project, right? But what you're saying, what makes you stand out from maybe the rest of the landscape is the journey that they undertake using you guys.
This might sound really weird. Well, it's not really weird, but if you buy something on Amazon, so you buy a book, and the book comes to the post, then you're like, I bought a book. But if the book comes with like a special wrapper, it says it's got your name on it. It says, "Hi, Liam, really appreciate you buying this. We'll give you like an extra thing." It's got, and you're gonna be like, if you just got the book, you would tell anyone. Because if you've got the book, all it needs to say is like your name on there. Thank you so much. Really appreciate this. Like a free lollipop. You're gonna be like, honestly, you're gonna tell everyone because you're like, these people, and is that those extra details. People pay for the gardens. People pay for the product. They don't expect all the little touches. And that's what gets talked about more is the, I did a garden and I had a lot of people criticise me of why you get the clients involved. Just tell them what grout they wanted to use. And the clients were both husband and wife, they're both working from home. And I knocked on the door and said, hiya, we're going to take a break for a minute. I've got all these grout colour samples. Would you like to choose one? They were like, they were so happy, they're buzzing. They're like, yeah, they got a break from their office work. They both come out. They spent like 20 minutes with their grout samples, and that's like the job's done. And going like when their friends come around for a barbecue, they're gonna be like, oh, we chose a grout colour. They've had like, it's those extra little details. They've had involvement in projects.
And I guess that's because you're involved in the design. Because a lot of those decisions, not always, but a lot of those decisions are kind of pre-made if you work for designers. So, in my case, I get a drawing, let's say, and I've got all the list of materials that he wants to use. But that doesn't stop you as a landscaper to say, oh, actually, I think this material might work really nice, or this, and and I love that. I love the fact that although the design's been designed, you have the ability to pick and choose that really nice bit of details that you want to put as a landscaper into those projects. I think customers, like you're saying, value you taking the time to approach them and giving them the option that is not the only thing out there. Because you could have probably picked you're doing a light grey, you're going to pick a light grey grout, done it, and then would have never thought about it. But by giving them the option,
we've got another question here. Do you find you win more work if you send out your quote very promptly?
I would say so. 100%. I think you need to be no more than a week or two. I think past that point, if they have to ask, can I have my quote, please? That's not a good. It's not. How do you say? Suddenly, like, how are you going to run your site if it's taking you that long to do?
I slightly disagree. If you're able to manage expectations and manage things properly, that if people, so from my point of view, people are people. If they want to work for you, they want to work for you. But yeah, you've got to, and it's hard. I struggle at times. I'm talking to so many people. I struggle to keep up communication. I really want to give the best service I can, but where I'm talking to so many people, I'm kind of spread a bit thin. But there are, even if you're not very prompt, as long as you're keeping them up to date with stuff and explaining what's going on, then yeah, the right people. And I think that's the thing, is that people, if they, I guess, market themselves well, the right people will wait, and they're the right people that you want. They're the people that you want, the people that will wait. So, it's important to get back to people quickly and efficiently. I'm not denying.
I think for me, the way I see it is, and I'm bad for it. So I call the supplier. I want that stuff today or tomorrow. You know what I mean? So most customers that inquire use Amazon, and everyone loves a prime delivery. Next day. So the way I see it is, we live in this society of people want the answer here and now. So in some ways, yeah, I see your point, and people are going to wait for people, because I've been there where I've been flat out, and my designer Lydia, that what we work, you need to finish a course, and yeah, just hold on that. I need to, I'm so busy. So, and those people will wait. But I think that the majority of clients out
I
there
think it's,
want answers
I,
quick and fast.
I think I
It doesn't mean
think
if you
I think
do.
it's different. So
It
I
doesn't
think
mean
if you're
yeah,
if you're at the stage, if you're just doing patios, if you're just doing fences, I think it's non-negotiable. You need to be bashing out the quotes. But if you're
yeah,
doing a full garden for designing, for me anyway, it's a process that takes not just the first meeting. There's like 2 or 3 other follow-up meetings, a slight adjustments, slight tweaks, and for them to get the best out of me and
yeah,
for me to get the best out of them, it's a process. It can't be rushed. If they want their garden, it's going to take.
exactly.
It's not going to be drawn out, but it's going to take a bit of process. So it's not a case of, oh, it's just a patio,
Yeah,
because that should be, the quote should be done within a couple of days or a week. It's very straightforward. But when it's
yeah,
something complex,
yeah,
something that you care about, something you want to give your all, like the clients are going to benefit from a couple more days or another week. And if they
yeah.
won't wait, if they won't wait, they're not your right
Especially
clients.
on big projects. Yeah. No, it's true. It's true. I mean, especially like some of the projects take me months to price. Like even understanding materials and like lead way, and because when we're pricing big jobs, we need to find the lead way, because when we're ordering, let's say 200 square meters of York stone
Yeah,
pre-sealed from London Stone, it's not as quick as oh yeah, I'll put that on the price, and oh, can you start, in a few. We can't start in a few months, because the lead
yeah.
way is it's more than a few months. So yeah, you do, like on the big project, you do have to pin down every little thing, and it's a lot of little things that slip the net, even if you
Someone,
spend hours and
sorry,
days on it.
someone's just, I don't want to skin this, we're
Um,
getting quite a lot of messages now, which is good. Something that just flagged
yeah,
up was, someone said it's
good.
hard to win a job when you look young. It's hard to win a job
Pardon?
when you look young.
Yeah, I disagree with that, because I think with the power of like that phones, and if you've got the ability to show what you're capable of, i.e. your portfolio, or pictures, and previous jobs, I think you could be. I mean, I was winning big jobs, and I was 26, 25, 24. I mean, I'm only 18 now, so um, yeah, I think I disagree with that. I think if you've got some good work behind you, it
I
makes
was
the
I
odds.
was just
What's
laughing
your
because
views?
Ben Broad has been a bit naughty tonight. He has been a bit naughty.
Really? Um, I, I got a question here. Let me see if I can find it. 3 tips you wish you knew at the very start of starting up your landscaping business. I quite like that question from Jack
Mhm.
Brooks. So go on, Adam. 3 tips.
There's so many angles you can go down.
Yeah, 3 tips. What? I'm going to take it as 3 things that I wish I didn't do. So
Okay, you go,
I'm going
you
to
go
go
first.
down that route. So I
You go
wish.
first.
Pardon? Yeah, I wish. The first thing that really I wish I didn't do is do extras without signing them. doing extra work without
Yeah.
agreeing with the customer. Do it, you know, working for free basically, because by the end of the job, you get, oh yeah, I need to add this much on because it was extra, and people saying, yeah, bollocks to that. So that's the biggest pincher that I've probably learned over the years, and it still happens. It still happens because when I'm on a job and someone says, "Do you mind doing this?" You know, I'm so willing to help that pinches. So that would be my biggest kind of like not to do is if someone asks you an extra and you need to take the time to do a quote and it's boring but you have to do it because you know that pinches. So that's one thing. But
I'm really struggling to think. It's a very good question, and for me, it's part of the. It's a funny one because I'm very lucky that I've got quite a few mentors that help me. I guess help me give me lessons so that I don't make those mistakes. But then ultimately, it's part of your journey. You've got to make those mistakes, and it's kind of in my journey. I'm glad that I did. I guess maybe then this is a kind of different angle. Having the confidence to network more. I wish that because at the moment, what's really helping me is networking, knowing suppliers, knowing designers, knowing other landscapers. I wish I'd had. There's only now a bit of the confidence to do it. I wish I had the confidence beforehand because that could have saved me months or another year. Because I'm in a nice position. I'm making such good friends. Like give and take relationships, such nice friends with people that I'm learning so much that it's kind of the progression is it's crazy. So yeah, I think earlier on maybe if I'd had a bit more confidence in terms of approaching people and asking them, that would have been.
I think I can take that with you as well, and I can't agree more. Like I've been doing it. I mean, you know, 10 years, over 10 years, and like networking is something that, you know, we're going to book the Pro Landscape event where you got an award. I mean, I've never done this. I've been doing it too. Okay. But you know, I need to start pushing in that direction massively. You know, I've put in my application for APL. And this is something I've took from you, mate. I'm not going to lie. Like you do shit tons of networking, like compared to what I do. My only networking is in my local area, and it's going to the building merchant and seeing people like that. But I want to get more involved, and this is partially why we're doing this this podcast as well. I want to.
So this,
I love what I do.
I think our podcast is in the middle. So our podcast is in terms of bringing people on that we can learn from, but then also giving back and then sharing that to other people.
Yeah, exactly. I mean that's the full idea, and that's what I'm enjoying at the moment. And it's like I was saying, that's definitely something I would have done sooner. So that's probably maybe I wish I would have tackled. So I couldn't agree more with what you said there. The networking is huge. And you know, it's funny because I had Justin from JH Landscape on the phone, and you said that it's the best thing you done the APL. You know, like it really boosted his business. And I feel inspired by those people. Like great journeys and great work and great success comes with hard work. But you have to put the extra bits as well, and that's like, you know, investing time to going to those events, investing time to go through anything, you know, related
if you
to
haven't
those
pushed
things.
yourself out there, then it's unknown territory. It's not in your peripheral. You don't know, and you're not exposed to that. So as soon as you start networking, I guess I've been very, very fortunate with London Stone, and I've always been grateful to them that they've taken me to the SGD Awards, and I've sat next to like designers that are on TV, and it's that exposure to, hang on a minute, it's like as long as all my ducks are in line, I could could get to there. But if I hadn't have had that opportunity, if I hadn't met those people, if I had network, I would still just be in my local area and very kind of like closed-minded. But because there's like a little window open, I sort of peek through the window. It's like it's not that far away really. If you put in the hard work and you're a nice person, you're a good person, it's not that far away. It's just open your mind to the different sort of things.
Yeah, I mean, this is so much social media. I find, like, you know, we've talked about it briefly, like getting confident on camera and stuff like that. I mean, for me, it's like I love it. I have a bit of fun with it now, but it's done really well for my business. Like, not only I get a lot of support from other landscapers and I have like lovely chats, but as well I get inquiries. I get inquiries from customers saying, "Oh, I've been following you for a couple months now, and you know, can you come and pass my garden?"
And that was the thing. Ben just sent like a really long message.
Yeah.
That was the thing. So in the APL cluster meeting last night, so there was Darren from Hyde, there was Will Radial, there was Jamie Wilkinson for a landscaper, Jim Wilkinson, and there's also like there's people that do £1 million projects and people that do like £10,000 projects. It was good sort of scope of people, but yeah, it's good to get the whole diversity, and everyone's in the same boat.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you're on, everyone's asking the same questions, everyone's thinking the same things, and it's part of networking and being in these organisations of just because you're Tim and you do like a small patio, the guys that are doing £1 million patios, they still have the same worries and concerns, and it's that reassurance of coming in the same group and having the chance to talk for the ideas.
No, I agree. I mean, even like chatting with different landscapers, or it might be different tradesmen, you're always, by opening those conversations, you're always going to learn something you might be missing. So, you know, what one guy told me, and that really stuck with me, because I was young and I was working like literally Saturdays and Sundays. I was thinking I was smashing it. I was like, you know, I'm making good money, I'm working every day. And he said, "You're making good money, but you're always at work. And you're like, your business is for 5 days a week. You know, if you have to do any more than that, technically you're putting too much time for reward. It doesn't work. You need to be making really good money doing just 5 days a week. Obviously, sometimes you have to push because you're late or this and that and the other, and you make up those days. But that really stuck with me, that you could work, you know, all the days of the week. That doesn't make it a great business.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
I guess, and that's what it's a shame. I'm sure we're going to reschedule at some point, because it's going to be a really good one. But I guess not being a busy fool. But going back on to your previous point, because I went off on a different tangent and it wasn't really following what you just said. But in terms of the social media and what you're doing, I guess firstly, like you're really helping me to kind of chill out a little bit and just not being myself, but just be a bit more comfortable in front of camera. Because I know that from a lot of past experiences and past projects, that a client books in February, and the project doesn't start until July. They watch our stories. So they've got like, I'm not going to do those maths, 6 months, 7 months. They're watching our stories for the 6-7 months. So by the time we turn up on site, they know all our team personally. We turn up on site, I don't have to introduce the guys. Yeah. They've got so comfortable with us that they go, "There's a house key. You can come for coffees. You can do this, that," because they've been watching us on the socials. They know all our different personalities. They know how we work, and it's a great way of them getting, like, they feel part of the family. Like,
no, exactly. And after you do stories when you're in their garden, and they love it. You know, they send me messages on the stories that I've done and say, "I love it. You know, I love work. You know, I haven't seen them because they're at work, and I'm gone or whatever. I love what you've done." You know, they can see. I think the full kind of like social media related to our job, I think it's amazing. I think it's like, I wouldn't change it. I love it. It's good fun as well. And I wouldn't have met you in some way.
That would have been
That
sad.
would have been sad. That would have been sad. But you know, all lots of people. So I think social media's got a lot to say for. So yeah. But going back on the businessy bits, and I just wanted to share this. And again, it was another tradesman that told me that. And I don't, I want to see what's your point of view, because I know you like buying tools, and I'm not buying tools. But he said, before you invest in stuff, have all the equipment to be efficient before investing in stuff. Does that question make sense? So, no, it doesn't. So, before you get a labourer, buy a digger. Does that make sense? No. Okay. Let me try something. Before you get 2 labourers, buy an event.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
No? So, are you getting it? So my event, let's say, for figure of speech, is doing a lot of work. It's taken. If I didn't have it, I would have someone unloading the stone, bringing it across. So the manpower required to achieve what that machine is doing. So what I'm trying to say is, like, it's really, what's your view on equipment to do you invest in equipment before having, you know what I mean?
Kind of. So the way I guess the way I see it is that the equipment is going to give, I guess, ultimately going to give the clients a better product. It's going to make us more efficient. It's easier to use, and it's going to last longer. So I'm known for buying the best of the best, only because of those 4 things. It ticks all the boxes. It's going to last. They're really robust. It's a really good product. So in terms of, if anything goes wrong, I can call up the company and they're going to fix it. So it's those sorts of things that you get with the more expensive tools. And also, it's going to so like the whacker plate, I've got Wacker Newson. It's probably one of the best whackers you can buy. Yeah, it's a lot of money, but it's good. It means you can do less passes because the compaction is so high. It's so high.
Yeah, exactly. So suddenly you're putting more value to your customers because you've got that machinery to offer. Although you can hire machinery, but I think for me, I've invested over the years. I've got our own digger, I got our own chipper, all that stuff. I had the same whacker plate you were talking about, but it got stolen. That was a very sad day. But but we can still hire. But I find that, and this is going back to being a young landscaper. One of my first turfing jobs, I did it all with a spade because I knew it was doable. But I was there scratching the grass for ages. When now I got a turf scratcher, and that job I'd done 10 years ago, let's say, took me 2 weeks. I'll do it now.
So that would be, I guess, it might not be number 2 on the list, but it's definitely on the list of what would you do differently. It's higher until you use something regularly and then buy. As soon as it's the same with a digger. As soon as I bought a digger, and I've still got it now. So I bought my digger. It's a Takuchi Micro.
I got the same.
It was, I think it's like 5 plus VAT. So it was like around, I don't know, 6.5, 7. And I've had it 3 years, and within the first 6 months, it paid for itself. We use it.
Did you buy it?
And it's the thing of when you don't realise. So when you hire something, because it's on hire, you want to give it back as quickly as possible because you're looking at. I've had it a week now. I've had it 2 weeks now. Whereas if you bought it and it's sat on the job, because there's always times in terms of like, so you got the dig out stage, which could be a couple of days, could be a week, and then you bring the scalps in. But there could be like a few days in between the dig out and the scalps that if it's a hire digger, you're sat there sweating, going, "Oh, I'm paying a hire company."
Yeah.
Whereas if it's your digger, it doesn't matter whether it's there 2 weeks, but you need it. You need to load the wheelbarrows or load the track dump for the scout. So once it's yours, it can be sat in a job, and you're like, "Yeah, that's fine. I'm going to need it shortly to load up and put the scalps in or bring the saw back in."
Yeah.
So when it's yours, you can have a
Yeah.
different perspective.
No, I totally agree. I mean, before now we hire a lot. Like our whacker plate, like we got burgled so many times, and I've been fed up with buying tools and people just taking them. So I went down the route of like hiring like whacker plates and stuff like that, and I would see it come back, you know, at the yard or something, or the boys have finished, or I go and visit their jobs, and everything's compacted. You know, they start laying, they're nearly finished laying. Now, look, why is the whacker plate still here? I'm paying for this whacker plate that it's been sitting here for a week. You know. So that is one frustration with hire. But I think finding if you're starting out and you're a landscaper, a young one, finding a really good hiring firm, like it will get your business going without having to make a big investment.
Yeah,
I think it's great.
I just said about servicing a digger and is it costly? I've only got mine serviced once and it wasn't that expensive, but I'm really struggling. So if anyone on the chat can tell me where I can get my digger or machine serviced, because I'm really struggling to find anyone that.
Where do you
I
hire
hire my stuff now from a company called FTH, File and Tool Hire.
Okay, so if I need anything servicing, the hire company that I use will do it because they have someone in-house servicing all their machines. So sometimes they do it as well on the side. I know I use GR8s in the Bishop Stortford. They've got one in Cambridge.
Are they great?
And one in Saffron Walden. They're great. Yeah, GR8. They're lovely. I mean, I know the owner. I've done some work for him, but it's just so handy. You know, I'll drop it off, and they've got all the parts there. I needed for my Takushi digger. I needed new tracks because the pieces of metal were falling off, and literally called them. I could pick one on the day. You know, that's so handy. It's literally so handy. Making those connections is it's part of networking. But having those local connections where if something goes wrong on your digger, where can you get the
and that's what I need to source. But going back to the hiring point, so I guess we've both got quite a lot of our own machinery. Have you ever thought about hiring out your stuff to people, and what your thoughts on that?
Yeah, we've hired our chipper to fellow landscapers or friends or a builder or stuff like that. Because a chipper is expensive. Like I think our chipper was like 18 grand. Our digger was like 17. It's all expensive stuff, you know. So the event I've been asked if they can hire it. I said no, just because it's my new baby. And I'm like, you know, the problem is that you don't know how they're going to look after
as well.
it.
So what went through my head is that I don't have my own insurances, and so I've got most things. I've got a Cayman turf cutter, which is perfect. So we use it on our small jobs. If it's suitable for a digger, we use a turf cutter, which is perfect because if it's good soil, it goes down in increments. So we can dig out for a patio, we can dig out the 150 mil, but it goes down. We can scuff the turf. It goes down in increments. It's really good. Why don't I hire that out? Because I've seen people using it and like boosting it around. Even though it's Cayman, it's really robust. It's sturdy. It's still like a couple of grand that I don't want someone. If someone breaks it, and that's. I could be earning. So a lot of people ask me, you've got all these tools. Could you not be earning more money? But I don't think it'd be interesting. So I haven't had that conversation with the hire company of what they do, but I'm assuming there's processes in place and contracts and those sorts of things. But I'm not really sure if I want to. Yeah, I could be making more money.
No, good. And what about your digger? Do you hire it to your customers?
Justin asked a good question. What's the best tool you've invested in? would be the digger, just because of how, in terms of value for money, in terms of how, I guess, cheap it was, in terms of how long it's lasted. So it was £5 grand 3 years ago, and it's still going now, and I charged that out on jobs. So I've had that for 3 years. So that's probably the best tool I invested, because I can leave it on the site, and it's not costing me money. It's at my yard, so I'll get muck away from my yard. I can tidy my yard with it. It's probably been the best thing.
So my digger and next I would say the Advance. Honestly, like, I know you joke about it because I do a lot of videos about it, but like that for me has been game changer, because we do big projects. So when you got 200 square meters of York stone that's 40 mil thick, and you can bring it literally 2 feet away from where you're laying and move it like that at the click of the finger, it's game changer. I'm not going to lie, it's the best machine I've ever bought.
Yeah, and we're only joking, but I'd agree with you, but I just don't work on those size of projects yet. But I can see the benefit. And it's not just, there's so many different attachments you can have to it.
Oh yeah, I got a flail, and I've got a finishing mower, a flail. A flail.
Flail?
How do you, fuck off. A flail. I'm so French. A flail. But what is, going back on Justin's question, what is your smaller tool? Let's get rid of plants. What's your best tool that you've bought? Maybe something Milwaukee. Who knows?
I'll tell you what. So what do you call it? So I think its technical term is a concrete rake, but we call it a spangle, and we use it for scalpings. We use it for soil. So especially with scalping. So if you
you make a concrete rake for
so like a so we have an ox one, so I'm going to plug ox. I'm going to plug ox. But yeah, so for scalpings, if you use a rake, you just bring like the big heavy kind of like type 3 stuff, and leave the fines. Whereas if you use a spangle, it pulls all of it. So we use it for I mean, Steve doesn't like it, but Max loves it. So sharp sand, topsoil. We don't really use rakes anymore. We like the spangle is
no. But I think rakes is great for like making a fine teal. And we called it just like the rake without holes. And it's amazing. It's so important. Actually, no, let's be serious. So we use this rake without holes, Adam. It's really important that, and I want to de-stress this. You shouldn't be raking type.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, definitely.
Because if you rake back an area and you put all those big lumpy granite bits in one section, and then you've got the fines in another, it will settle differently. It will compact differently. The water will travel through it differently. It's like, we joke about it, but it's freaking important that you don't separate the big stuff with the fine stuff, all right? So, I'm glad you covered that one.
But honestly, it's such a difference, because it pulls all that. I know I'm joking, but honestly, the reason why I wanted to bring it up was it's been a game changer. It distributes all the type 1 like all evenly. Yeah, it's a good tool.
Yeah, no, I do agree. So my small tool that I love using like on daily basis would probably be on site. Let me think. It'd probably be my radio.
Is it what type? Is it a Milwaukee radio?
It's not. It's a DeWalt. It's a DeWalt. You know what? I got the DeWalt tough system, tough built, or whatever it's called. The cases. I don't own anything DeWalt, as in like no power tools. I never have. But I like their cases, and they were slightly cheaper than the Milwaukee pack out. So I got the radio, and I would say like that's the
Yeah.
item that comes out every day. I don't know about you, but like music on site, as long as the customers are happy for us to have it, I think it's a must. It just puts us in good spirits sometimes. You know, it lifts up the atmosphere. But yeah, if not to be more serious, I would say it's a good Stanley blade. I use a lot. I've always got on me again, or a good tape measure. Good tape measure.
I think
I mean,
I
we have,
need
you
to
know,
try
how
and
many
buy,
tape
and I
measures?
can't find it on the website, Elite Tools, and Matthew Broxton's had
Yeah,
the metal stainless steel one. I'm trying to find it
yeah,
on the
yeah,
website. I can't find it anywhere. So, but yeah, I go
yeah,
through. I've got a carpentry mates that laugh. They've got the same tape measure for the same 5 years. Well, they've had the same tape measure for 5 years, and I think I go through a tape measure every week at least.
yeah. Yeah, no, I'm the same. I mean, I've invested in
Yeah.
Milwaukee tape measures, and they're the stud, and they've got this coating that doesn't rust. It doesn't rust. Even for me, the tape measures go the quickest when they
Yeah.
get wet and sandy and they start rusting. And yeah, it's just really, really, really important. A good tape measure to be accurate. It's same with pencils. You know that everyone goes on
Honestly,
about the clicky
the ones
ones,
Justin
the
recommended to
Pika.
me, I'll recommend. I'll send you the link from Amazon.
Yeah.
They're the best. They're the best.
No,
They're the best.
I've got them. I've got them, but they're red and they start with B or something like that. I bought some of that. Well, my mother-in-law bought me some for Christmas, and I like them. They're good, but I still like a wooden
Okay.
pencil with a
Those
sharpener.
sharpeners,
I've got loads of little
come on, those
sharpeners,
sharpeners
right?
don't work.
Cool.
Those sharpeners, they
What a
don't work.
wooden traditional.
They don't.
What?
Well, I
What
tried
do
a
you use to
Stanley
sharpen
knife, and I
pencil?
just every time you do like 6 passes, you do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and you do the last one, then the lead snaps, and then you
Yeah,
start again, then you
that's
start
why you've
again.
got a
So
pencil
this is why I
sharpener.
like the clicky. This is why I like the
Pencil
clicky thing because it's like
sharpener. No, you see, like I'm too heavy-handed. The clicky things, I'm always like clicking or
look,
like
you're
I
not
push down
injecting
and
yourself.
the
Just do
lead
like a little.
breaks. No.
Yeah.
Because I've got big old palms, and I'm not talking the fat
Well,
carpenter's
you're
pencil
about this.
that
You're
you
right there.
know you can't.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
Yeah,
thought you meant the big carpenter's
those.
one where you got the Stanley knife. And you're trying
No, no. Those carpenter one. It's okay if you're like trying to lay bricks and you need to mark it. They're not accurate. I'm
they're,
sorry, you can't be
they're like 20
accurate
mil
trying
wide
to
though. That's
be.
accurate.
I know. How can is there like it's like using a the big round chart what is it what the
Yeah.
kids used
Yeah.
to draw on the floor. You can't be accurate with those pencils. It's impossible. But yeah, I mean it's been a good evening again, hasn't it? I mean we've tried to gain back our live because we were meant to have a guest and that didn't pan out. But it's been good. I've enjoyed it. We've covered a lot of
Yeah.
stuff, random stuff.
So no pressure because he didn't
Good
chat, but I think it's
evening.
either Justin or Mark next.
I think it needs to be Justin because he's done really well with all his awards, and it'd be nice to touch base with him and see how he's found it and where's he going to push. I like his new rebranding
Yeah.
as well. It looks smart as hell. So and I love his work. His work is epic. So and I like his style, the metal kind of work that he does with his projects are pretty epic. So I'll be banging on the ringer tomorrow, calling him. Please come on the live. You do the same, and we'll manage to. He's been really busy though, hasn't he?
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's been
Really busy.
good. We had a lot of good questions. Yeah, we try and I'm not sure why Nick couldn't join earlier, but we try and.
Yeah, it's my funds, Justin. Yeah, you got it. Look at those bad boys. We haven't had the fun, dude. You know, but here we go. Thumbs up to you. Thumbs up to you to everyone watching. And yeah, no, it's been good, Adam. And look forward to next week. Hopefully, we don't have any glitches with the system. And yeah, no, it'll be good. Hopefully, Justin, whilst you're here, because I can see you commenting, are you coming on next week? Please, thumbs up if it's a yes, and thumbs down if it's a no. But it's definitely a thumbs up.
Definitely thumbs up.
Justin, you're free next Wednesday. Definitely thumbs up. But yeah, cool. Well, I think. Do you want to do a little conclusion to our evening?
I don't know how to conclude, because I think so we start, for anyone just tuning in now and just watching now, we had like a good 20 minutes beforehand while we were waiting for Nick to join, and we had a good back and forth about business, and then we tried joining again. Yeah, I think let's try and reschedule with Nick, because that's going to be, for me, it's going to be one of the most beneficial ones for everyone listening, not just landscapers, but if there's anyone else listening, because I think everyone works in their craft, but they don't pay attention to the business, and I think that's going to be a huge eye-opener, huge value for people watching. So yeah, but it'd be good to reschedule him on as soon as possible, and try and figure it out. But yeah, it's I had the same problem with when we did the podcast with Matty. I struggled to join for a while, so we need to try and maybe we don't go on Instagram.
But I never struggled to join you though. So when you start it, it just comes on pretty quick. So I don't know. But anyway, we'll see next week. And I think JJH put thumbs up. So
yeah, contract signed
next week.
Contract signed.
Pardon?
Contract signed.
Contract signed. He doesn't know what he's getting himself into. But yeah, no, I'd like to conclude with I've really enjoyed my evening.
Yeah.
Even if it didn't work to plan, I think we've had some good topics, some great questions. And for everyone watching, you know, please keep those questions, or if you've got any topics you want us to like really hear and talk about, you know, we'll be more than happy to take those topics, and you know, if you've got any topics we want to discuss with a landscaper or with a business coach like we were meant to have tonight, things like that, please get in touch with us, Adam or me, send us a message, and like that we can make sure we hit those topics, because you know, everyone struggles with different things in business or in landscaping, so you know, we want to make sure we're covering everyone's little things that we can cover, really. So yeah, on that note, I'll love you and leave you, and have a great evening. We'll see you tomorrow for some new adventures.
See ya. Cheers.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Bye for now.